Jon Stewart recently weighed in on the future of his show, and the tone he takes isn't necessarily like the best news if you're a big fan of The Daily Show. So take a look.
Do you think that Skydance would get rid of The Daily Show after the merger goes through?
Skydance, the company that's coming in? Yes. Boy, that's a good question. I have, unfortunately, we haven't heard anything from them. They haven't called me and said, like, don't get too comfortable in that office, Stewart. But let me tell you something. I've been kicked out of establishments than that. We'll land on our feet. No, I honestly don't know. I think we're the only sort of life that exists on a current basis other than like South Park. But
reruns of The Office.
It's the only thing on there. I'd like to think we bring enough value to the property. Like if they're looking at it as purely a real estate transaction, I think we bring a lot of value, but that may not be their consideration. I don't know. They may sell the whole place for parts. I just don't know. We've all got a surmisal about like who actually is owning it and what his ideology is, but ideology may not play a part. I just don't know.
Yeah, so look, he's not like sure that something bad is going to happen, but he clearly seems to think it's a serious possibility. I mean, if they were to get rid of, what is Comedy Central at this point?
Well, what is Comedy Central right now is what they're talking about, right?
Yeah. No, that's
nothing.
A good point, but
it's
at
only
least
original programming on a television network.
Sure. I think it would be mad. And again, just like with Colbert, who we talked about earlier, Stewart has done a lot of critical commentary of these companies giving Donald Trump just massive multi-million-dollar bribes so that he won't shut down their mergers and that sort of thing. He talked recently about the Paramount, what was referred to by a guest, Steve Croft, former 60 Minutes reporter, as a shakedown. And yeah, that's the way they've been describing it because that's what it is. Our government is functioning in a quasi-mafia-esque way. And for all the many times that they've crowed about like legalized comedy, no cancel culture, they want to shut down all of the prominent and popular voices that criticize them. And so Trump will 100% use the power of the government in pursuit of that. What do you think about Jon Stewart?
I mean, so Jon Stewart is in the original fiber of Comedy Central, and I am not talking about The Daily Show. I'm talking about short attention span theater, like which he hosts, which was 1,000 years ago, right? He left Apple over very similar reasons when Apple did show up and say you can't talk about this. Yeah. He was doing the problem with Jon Stewart, and he left because of that exact reason. And he went to Comedy Central, who kind of was like, "You want to come back? You can do it. Let's do it." And he has not only the Daily Show, but the Weekly Show, which is his podcast that he does through Comedy Central.
And it's really good, and people should listen to it.
It's great. It's fantastic. John sent me an episode, and I was like, I listened to it. It was fantastic. And we talk about it on his. No, we don't. We talk about the same subject on his Patreon or whatever. Anyway, so I think with this scenario, like Paramount has a lot of difficult decisions to make, right? And I think they could make them in ways that didn't overlap so much with what a somewhat cynical eye would very obviously see as like bribing Donald Trump over a 60 Minutes episode where it was like, you have to prove malice in order to win these things, in my experience, from what I know. And there is no malice. I mean, malice is so difficult to prove. So they just gave him $16 million. And like, I can't overstate the reputation of Skydance's CEO as just, and that's Ellison's kid, as like, this is just a vanity project for this guy.
Yeah.
And this in many ways, if you're looking for a narrative, is a win for Silicon Valley over the San Fernando Valley. The Silicon Valley folks own the entirety of entertainment now, from Apple TV to Amazon Prime to now Oracle money, allowing them to swoop in and buy it. Whereas before, GE owned NBC, right? GE is trying to sell you microwaves. Just watch any episode of 30 Rock and you'll see a pretty good analysis of that. And they would do it for pharmaceutical company money and all that stuff. But this is just it's a pleasure project for someone who's the scion of a technology company.
Yeah.
That is how sad it is. And there's tons of TikTok and Instagram handles you should follow about the disintegration of Los Angeles and the entertainment industry's ability to shoot anything in this town. Tons of people are gonna be out of work. And what are they gonna be replaced with? Me and John.
Ugh.
I mean, that's the truth.
Give
it's just
up.
The business model of Silicon Valley is to, instead of there being like 4 corporations that own 5 TV networks, right? Now, they're all the same people are just, there's like one company owns every YouTube show. Yes, there's more YouTube channels, but one company owns the entire org chart.
Yeah.
And the things they do to tinker with it have benefits and they have downsides. Like the old version was like there's a ballast that keeps anything from going too crazy one way or another. Now we are just by definitionally in our own algorithmic bubbles. Kai Cenat is the biggest late night host, and YouTube ad revenue trumps all the networks' ad revenue by a lot now.